Welcome to another Telltale Books video. I'm Greg, and I'm going to talk in this video about the next in my Francis Stevens series, a novel called Avalon. We are Telltale Books, bringing you the best in literature, literary topics, and graphic design and bookmaking.
If you want to support us, you can find us on Etsy and Pango, where you can find gently used, rare, and even top quality used books.
And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and maybe even that bell to be notified when new videos go live.
Thanks for joining us.
Avalon is a fairly short novel that was originally serialized in Argosy magazine from August 16th to September 6th of 1919. Hasn't been in print a whole lot after that. It is currently in print in a brand new book, Volume 1 of the Francis Stevens Library, from a publisher called Black Dog Books. And it's a trade paperback. It's pretty well done. I can't say I like the cover art or the typography much, but it is what it is. It's a small publisher. They can't hire Michael Whalen to do the cover. This is number 10 in my bibliography of Francis Stevens. So we've done 10 works by her so far. She didn't do a whole lot. She only wrote for, I don't know, maybe 5 years, 6 years, and then stopped. She was earning money while she was taking care of her dying mother. She couldn't take a job that would have her going to a place of work. She had to be able to work from home. So she took up writing to pay her bills. That way she could stay at home full time with her mother. And as soon as her mother was gone, she stopped writing in 1923. So 1918 to 1923, about 5 years. So in Avalon, you have Doris, who intends to marry Delgado, and this book, unlike the rest of Francis Stevens' work, has very, very little or no weird or speculative or supernatural content. So Doris intends to marry Delgado, but Doris's brother doesn't like the idea. He doesn't like Delgado and doesn't think she should marry with her. She should marry him. They're all living on an island off the Carolina coast, and Doris and Delgado are part of a family that owns the Avalon family. They own this island, and so everybody on it works for them, and they own all the land and everything. Small island. The light of the island's lighthouse goes dark, and the two lighthouse keepers vanish. So now you got a mystery on your hands. I didn't get through this novel. Most other people reviewing this have considered this Francis Stevens' weakest work, and I can understand why. Even for the period of 1919, this gets a little too stereotypical of certain racial and local types of people. And in the, it's something that always bugs me because it's so hard for me to read and understand what's being said, is when an author tries to phonetically spell out the way that the person's accent has them talking. So, to me, it just becomes all gibberish. I have a very hard time identifying what the words are and figuring out what's being said. And so that really slows me down. It really makes me frustrated. I hate it when authors do that. So I put up with a little bit of that in books, but if an author does a lot of it, I'm out of it. And that's what was going on with this one, especially when she introduced a black guy, of course, using language of the time to describe him, which is offensive to us today. That character was written in a very, very stereotypical, demeaning manner, and I did not like it. And I'm mostly not very sensitive to those things because I read a lot of older fiction, and I just let that stuff go right by me. But this one, once in a while I come across a piece where it's just too much, and I gotta say, no, I'm not liking this. I'm not going to waste my time. And that's what I did with this one. I got certain distance in, and also I notice I've got this edition. I've also got an ebook through Delphi of the complete works of Francis Stevens, and I was comparing the two, and I was noticing that both editions have the exact same typos. Possible that the original magazine publication had those typos, or it's also possible the specific typos seem like they might be mistakes due to an OCR conversion from the original magazine publication. And I didn't check to see if this was in Project Gutenberg. It could be they're all using the same Project Gutenberg file that has a lot of mistakes in it. And so you also had to try and decode the typos, and there were quite a few of them occurring, and that was another thing I didn't like. But that's not Francis Stevens' fault necessarily. I'd have to see a copy of the original magazine to be able to determine if she's at fault for it, or if it's the people reprinting it that went wrong. So, I bailed. I DNF'd. I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep going on this one. I do not recommend Avalon to anybody. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about Black Dog Books. I've got some one of their other books, and I like some of the titles in their selections. I want to buy more from them. But Avalon just was not an enjoyable novel on any level. So I cannot recommend it. I guess I would say steer clear of it. I mean, I haven't read Claimed yet. Claimed might be really good. We'll see. I don't know. So it might be worthwhile to still get this book. But the bulk of the book is Avalon. It's about 2/3 of the book is taken up by just Avalon. And if I may nitpick, since I'm a graphic designer, I also have older eyes, and the type on these pages, it's very much on the small side. It's smaller than what is typical in a book. And that made it very difficult for me to read it. Very small letters, lots of them crammed onto a page. It was kind of difficult to read. I would guess this is set down around 10-point type, which 12-point is the ideal lower limit for type on a page of books. 11 points sometimes is still really good, but you go below 11 and it starts to get too small. And anything under 10, of course, is definitely too small. It's going to be hard for someone like me to read at any sustained number of pages at that small of a point size. So that was another detraction to this book, is that it is set in a small point size, one that made it difficult to read. So I'm skipping Avalon. I will go on to Claimed and try to read Claimed. I can't remember if that's my next Francis Stevens or not, but it's coming up very quickly. We're actually getting close to the end for Francis Stevens. She didn't write all that much. After 1919, she slowed down. 1923 was her last story, Sunfire, in Weird Tales, which is why I'm doing this read-through. So, unfortunately, this is one I can't recommend. I gotta say, this is a bomb. This is not good. Steer clear of Avalon. Have you read Avalon by Francis Stevens? If so, let me hear your opinion on that. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Leave your comments in the comments section of the video for all of us to be able to see it and appreciate it and learn from it maybe. And come on back for more Francis Stevens and everything else that we do here on Telltale Books.